There it is. There it is. Gosh, getting into this, after all, the haute couture of the posterior segment. We really have the man, the myth, the legend right here himself. I think, Marc, last year's hot topic at EURETINA was still AI. I think this year's hot topic is definitely fully into the land of robotic surgery. So congratulations on being Mr. Haute Couture, Paris, EURETINA 2019.
Well, you know, it is quite an honor, although you probably see it more than I do. You know, we're in a little booth there at the very back, and we're trying to get some interest from people. But I think you might be hitting the nail on the head, in the sense that, you know, the other big thing now is gene therapy, of course. Everybody's talking about Luxturna and you know, these new therapies that are coming.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I might have to go to the catwalk right now.
You might have to go to the catwalk right now. Well, you're dressed for it. So
yeah, there we are. All right, so
I was just saying, you know, if you look at gene therapy and, you know, it's coming along, how can you get the product into the subretinal space safely in a controlled fashion? The only way you can do that, given the size of the retina, is if you're going to use a robot. So that's our first application. We really think that we can try to make it there, and then after that expand to the rest of the retina and beyond.
Right. Now, you know, Marc, I made a little LinkedIn post the other day right after Ophthalmology Futures about what they called billboard therapy. It was, yeah, do you remember this?
Yes, yeah.
During the symposium they were talking about, you know, is the future of robotic surgery really valid, or is it just, quote, billboard therapy, meaning, you know, just, hype, but still adding to the marketing armamentarium of these companies. And my whole point was both, you know, I mean, you can, even if it's billboard therapy to begin with, if we're driving toward the future, eventually those outcomes are going to come, because we're not going to go back in time, right?
That's true, that's true. Well, you know, I think it's a bit more than that, because, you know, in those panels you're talking about, really when people talk about robots, they're sort of asking, when is it going to come? And most people think about 5 or 10 years from now. It's a bit like AI. AI is a lot of hype. Yeah. We're going to get there, but, you know, it is probably about 4 to 5 years before we have something. But we have something that is ready now. It's not as if, you know, we're still building for the future.
Right.
The future is ready now. In fact, I've been busy at it since 2006.
Right.
So it's not as if we just thought about it 2 years ago.
Right. Take it from the man in a banana apron.
I'm telling you, yeah, exactly. But, you know, this is haute couture, so, you know, in fact, we were talking about that just a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
If you had just told me about a week or two before, we could have probably made a subroutine and tried to, you know, not try.
Yeah.
We would have been able to stitch your name somewhere.
But truly, you could have.
On a banana somewhere.
Okay, I'm in. So we're obviously going to have to do haute couture version 2.0. and get those robot arms ready sewing out in Asia with us. In the meantime, I still have more questions about you know, robots. One of the interesting things, one of the topics that came up the other day, and I don't mean to throw out all these like negative elements, but it kind of keeps things spicy.
Of course.
So let's address it. So it seemed like the panel was saying that, you know, with these with the robot arm, when you've got an injection that you're doing, I guess it's under anesthesia. So when the patient kind of, sometimes they might twitch a little bit, and when they do, a human typically would have to be ready to take that injection out real quick, and for some reason they think the robot can't quite do that. Can you explain that and why that actually might not be the case?
Oh, well, yeah, so there's a bit of a debate here. You're probably referring to one of my colleagues that has been claiming that, you know, because of the way robots are being built, it wouldn't be able to be fast enough, and it would have to sort of have all of these motions in these joints to be able to pull out. But in reality, the way we've built our robots, you know, what goes into the eye is sort of a Z direction.
Yeah.
And all of the rest of the motion is outside. So, you know, a surgeon essentially pulls his instrument out.
Right.
The same way here, the instrument has to pull out quickly.
Right.
So what does the surgeon do if something goes wrong? He holds the head and he pulls his instrument out.
Right.
So here you're holding a joystick, you can hold the head, and you just yank that joystick back,
right,
and everything comes out.
Wow.
So it's the exact same thing, and in terms of speed, it's the same speed. So the other thing people are talking about is, yeah, you'd have to do everything under general anesthesia. Well, there was a presentation here at EURETINA that essentially showed that no, you can do it very safely, comfortably, without any risk under local anesthesia. The key element in any precise surgery is that you have to make sure your patient's awake and attentive.
Right.
And looking at it even further, the worst complications I've had in the last few years are not from patients under local. It's usually from patients under general that start bucking on their tube. That's absolutely unpredictable.
Yeah.
And it would be just as bad if I was doing manually or with a robot.
Interesting. So that's why when Paul Hallen of Alcon was over here earlier, he was basically
wearing an apron too?
Well, he had his own couture of sorts. It was a little upper class, I would say.
You're trying to tell me that I'm lower class, right?
Well, it's just my mother's from Texas, Paul's from Texas. We kind of do it hot there. So
yes, of course.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Everything's bigger in Texas, right?
It is, in fact.
Okay, let's continue. You were telling me about.
Well, yeah. I was just saying that it seemed like he was basically giving you a high five over here before,
really?
And I thought that was a good indication.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your eyes just lit up right there, didn't they?
Of course it did. I mean, it's not every day that you get a VP of a company that gives you a high five,
Yeah. That's happening right here at Pie Magazine, folks. Just so you know. Beautiful things happen on the red carpet at Pie Magazine. So deal makers, come on over. We're filming, and for a small price of an advertisement, you can just have the whole keys to the kingdom.
I see.
And I don't think you're even advertising yet, so you get a free one, Mark.
I'm getting a free one now. Yes, okay. Next year might be a different story.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, but interestingly, Mark, last year, we sat here. I was in a Mozart outfit, and we were talking.
Yeah.
You were not doing the couture yet, but.
No.
Neither were you doing the CE mark yet.
That's true.
And I kind of think Marc and CE mark goes well together. They might need to change the last name to MARC, but nonetheless, you're the man.
Yeah.
So my question is, did you think that you were going to, evolve so quickly when we were sitting down at ESCRS?
We were busy already. We've been busy for nearly 2 years trying to get the CE mark. That CE mark is over 1,700 pages of documentation.
Yeah.
So it's a hell of a lot of work. But we knew that we had to work in that direction.
Right.
We weren't quite sure when we'd get it because there are a lot of tests involved. But just to give you an idea of how good that robot is, when we did these electromagnetic tests, EMC tests, and we went through with flying colors. In fact, we did so well for a startup company with such a complex device that the notified body had never seen this before. They gave us a prize.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, the prize was a cake, but still, we won a prize because they had never experienced this, because usually you get all these flags that you have to answer and get it retested. We went through without any problem.
Did you say the prize was a cake?
Our prize was a cake, yeah. The machine doesn't cost the price of a cake. That's a bit more, but but a prize is a prize. We enjoy cake. Whenever we get a success, we have a cake.
And now you can read cake too, is when you go to the ESCRS.
Exactly,
so who thought pie and cake were so relevant in the field of ophthalmology?
And to robotics.
Aha, touche. So, I really feel, I don't know, I feel like I caught a glimpse of something last year. Maybe we're not revealing, as you said, but I really
don't want to talk about having a CE mark if you don't have it, because you always keep your fingers crossed.
Right.
So now we have it. It's a big thing. It's a big thing for us. We're very happy, and we're glad that everybody, including you, appreciate the effort we put into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even, I figured that you were like a lonely scientist in the basement somewhere, and that we were kind of doing you a solid. But no, you were doing us a solid, because we actually caught a glimpse of innovation at the very get-go.
You're not completely off, though, because if you see where our office is located, it's in the basement of the university in Eindhoven.
Well, our office is located in Da Nang, Vietnam, which is probably not a step or two down from you in that sense. So, hey, look. Weird offices of the world unite. It happened in the case of Microsoft, and it can happen in the case of Haute Couture and Banana Couture guys.
Absolutely. I think that sounds like a great deal.
Thanks for coming out, Marc.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure always.
All right. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.